Did you know that there's a plant that feeds the birds, supports the bees, and practically thrives on neglect? And that's just one of the 3 plants I'm sharing today. Stick around to learn how Washington's native plants can transform your garden and your connection to nature. Hi, I'm Madeline, and I'm a native plant gardener and the creator of Wire and Fire Jewelry, where I design handmade pieces inspired by the beauty of the outdoors. On this channel, I help you discover native plants to grow in your yard so you can create beautiful, wildlife-friendly gardens. But before we dive into Washington's native plant, I bet you might be wondering, why do native plants matter? Check out my video titled Native Plants versus Global Warming to find out more about why you should plant native plants. So today's state, we're going state by state, all 50. Today's state is Washington, way up in the northwest corner. And I am going to give Washington a purpley blue flower. The first plant is described as having a blue flower, but to me it looked more purple. Washington, you get a purple/blue flower for your state. And you're the 12th state I've made a video of. Let's put Washington over there. Okay, Washington is one of the most ecologically diverse states in the United States, with temperate rainforests, shrublands, and beautiful alpine meadows. Unfortunately, many of these native plants are under threat due to urban development and invasive species. The good news? By planting native species, you can help restore balance to local ecosystems while cutting way back on fertilizers, water, and pesticides. All these reasons add up to easier, feel-good gardening. Plant number 1 today is one I never heard of before, but I did research on Washington. Camas, or common Camas. This is a beautiful flower that you'll love to look at, but it's also crucial to Washington's history. Camas is native to moist meadows and wetlands. Camas has a little feature that you might like, especially if you need to cover a wider area and you don't mind it spreading. What happens is that Camas will slowly form clumps over time. So it's going to fill in. If you want a whole area filled in, or you have a meadow you're trying to beautify. The pictures I saw online I am so jealous that we don't have anything quite this gorgeous. But it loves water, and I'm in Oklahoma, where, even though I'm in the northeast corner, it gets very dry in summer. So there you go, a whole area with common Camas, just looking gorgeous. And I'm sure you can see that by the picture there. It is absolutely stunning. Let's move on. I'll tell you a little bit more about Camas. Camas would like to have full to partial sun, and Camas likes moist, well-drained soil, so it's perfect for a rain garden or a wetter area in your yard. I always talk about the wildlife benefits. So the wildlife benefit of common Camas, benefits I should say, are as follows. Common Camas is a magnet for bees and other pollinators, especially in the spring when flowers can be more scarce. Camas will grow 1 to 2 feet tall and then, as I mentioned previously, form lovely spreading clumps over time. Did you know common Camas was a staple food for many of the indigenous people in the Pacific Northwest? They harvested and roasted the bulbs and then shared them in community feasts. Before we move on, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. We're on to plant number 2, which is red flowering currant, Ibis sanguinarum. Don't have a demonstration for this one, but the bees, the hummingbirds, and butterflies absolutely love this one. Let me tell you a little more about it. So the light conditions are similar to Camas, which is full to partial sun. This red currant needs well-draining soil. That's why it's in the Pacific Northwest and not here in Oklahoma, Clay City. Joking. This needs some room. It usually grows 6 to 10 feet tall and 3 to 6 feet wide. And red currant has beautiful pink flowers, deep pink, and berries after the blooms fade. So it's loved by hummingbirds and butterflies and bees, as I mentioned. The reason this shrub, basically the red currant, is so important is because it is a very early spring bloomer, so it's an important nectar source for pollinators. I think I forgot to mention that The birds love it because of the berries, or you might have figured that out already, but they do love the little berries. Taking a little commercial break here. I'm on to plant number 3, which is Oregon grape, Mahonia aquifolium. These names. So at the very beginning, I was talking about how you could have plants that love neglect, that just thrive on it, basically. Technically, there are 2 plants that I'm talking about, but this plant number 3 is the one that I'm going to call our happy to be neglected plant once it's established. Why might you want to plant Oregon grape, which isn't a grape, obviously? It has so many benefits for pollinators and birds. There's berries in the fall that are blue, like blueberries, so the birds go crazy for that. And it has beautiful yellow flowers, so it'll look nice in the yard. Bees and other pollinators love the blooms. Apparently, it's another early spring bloomer, so that's another reason that this one's going to be great for pollinators. We know that a lot of butterflies are in trouble, as well as bees, and there's more than just honeybees. Those aren't really native bees. Native bees, there's hundreds of species in the United States and in North America. You may have seen some of them, but I've seen some unusual ones since I started planting natives. Little green ones, fuzzier ones than normal, different sizes than the bumblebees. And in the fall, when I have my goldenrod blooming, that's when I see so many different bees. Let's get on with Oregon grape now. We're going to do a little toughness demo for Oregon grape since it thrives on neglect. First of all, it can take heat. Let's pretend this is Oregon grape flower. Heat, hot, sun, hot, hot, hot. And they do like full sun to partial shade, so it's adaptable there, which is another reason it's probably tougher than normal. And it doesn't mind shade, which I think any gardener knows eventually you run out of sun for the sun-loving plants. So this to me would be a gem if I lived there in Washington. The third reason it thrives on neglect and is a tough plant that you want to plant is it doesn't mind rain. Oh, I hope I didn't get anything important wet. So there it is. Our thrives on neglect, tough little Oregon grape with beautiful yellow flowers and gorgeous blue berries. I forgot to show you a bird. I've never seen one like this. Anyway, birds love this plant. So let's just go over all the things it likes. Full sun to partial shade for light. As far as the soil requirements go, it can adapt to a variety of soils from dry to very moist. Who's not going to love this plant? As far as the size of this goes, it's another tall one, 3 feet to 6 feet tall. 3 feet's not bad. And a spread of up to about 5 feet. So it's going to be a stunner, and it's going to cover some ground for you. And did I mention, I don't think I did, that the leaves are evergreen? So it's going to look good even in the winter. If the birds don't eat all the berries, you'll have those gorgeous blue berries to look at too. You'll feel better if the birds are having a rough winter. You'll know that they can get some food in your yard without you having to put up bird feeders. I want to brag about the conservation in the state of Washington with an example here. In 2024, the King Conservation District distributed 70,000 native plants to Washington homes and restoration projects. So kudos to the King Conservation District for providing plants to help support the ecosystem and crops and gift the pollinators with what they need. Got one more little fun fact for you here. In Washington, bumblebees pollinate crops such as blueberries and cranberries, so that their contribution to your fruit plate is pretty darn big, and that's what we call sustainable agriculture. Are you ready to transform your garden with Washington native plants? Download my free guide, How to Find the Best Native Plants for Your Area, and here's the link right here. Totally free. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below which plant you're excited to put in your garden. I'll see you in the next video. Plant number 1 today is one I never heard of before, but I did research on Washington. Camas, or common camas. plant number 1 for the state of Washington, native plant, is common quamash. Plant number 1 for your state, Washington, is common Camas or Camas quamash. I don't know why all these names are such tongue tires.